Today I want to discuss perhaps the most important scientific question surrounding the passive vehicle electromagnetic enhancement device, or Pveed. What is actually happening when Pveed is present? After roughly 20 years of prototype development and internal experimentation, we have observations that we believe justify independent investigation, but we do not know the mechanism. Rather than pretending to know, the correct approach is to ask questions and design experiments that could prove our hypotheses wrong. Let's start with the most fundamental question. Does Pveed produce a measurable and repeatable change in fuel consumption? That should be determinable through controlled testing. Place a vehicle on a chassis dynamometer, perform multiple baseline runs without Pveed, measure actual fuel consumption and exhaust emissions, install Pveed, repeat exactly the same test, then remove it and repeat the baseline again. If there's no repeatable difference, we have learned something important. But if there is a repeatable difference, then we ask the next question: why? For gasoline engines, one area to investigate is the high voltage ignition system. The ignition coil creates the voltage required to produce an electrical discharge across the spark plug gap. That discharge creates a plasma channel that initiates combustion. So we ask, does Pveed change the ignition event? Does peak spark voltage change, current, duration, waveform, electrical ringing? Does the plasma discharge become more stable? Does ignition become more consistent, cycle to cycle? And most importantly, does any measured electrical change correspond to a measurable change in combustion? That leads us to lean burn behavior. How lean can the engine safely and normally operate before combustion becomes unstable? Establish that limit without Pveed, then install Pveed, and repeat the test. Does the stable lean limit change? Do misfires begin at the same point? What happens to power output, combustion stability, and emissions? If Pveed allows stable operation under leaner conditions, that would be an important observation. If not, we eliminate that hypothesis. Now, on to horsepower and torque. Our in-house work has produced observations that we interpret as possible improvements under certain conditions, but those require independent confirmation. So again, don't assume. Use a calibrated dynamometer. Run repeated Pveed on and Pveed off comparisons. If the difference disappears under controlled conditions, that's our answer. If the difference remains repeatable beyond measurement uncertainty, then we investigate further. Now, consider diesel engines. This is especially interesting because a conventional diesel engine does not use a spark plug for normal combustion. Fuel auto-ignites after injection into highly compressed hot air. Therefore, if a Pveed effect appeared in both gasoline and diesel engines under independent measurement, then a change in a conventional spark plug discharge couldn't explain everything. We would need to look for something shared. Electrical systems, fuel injection, sensors, wiring, electromagnetic conditions, combustion behavior, or some other interaction. We don't know. That's why we measure. Then there's the welding arc. We have observed what appears to be a change in welding arc behavior when Pveed is present, but that observation has not been independently characterized. A welding arc and an automotive ignition spark are very different systems, but both involve electrical discharge and plasma. So we ask, does arc voltage change, current, stability, spectrum, heat transfer, weld penetration, or does nothing change once the experiment is properly controlled? Either answer is useful. And then there's a much more extraordinary question. Does Pveed cause transmutation? We're not claiming that it does. We're asking the question. Transmutation would mean one chemical element being converted into another through a nuclear level change. An extraordinary claim that would require extraordinary evidence. Fuel economy changes, exhaust readings, power differences, or welding observations couldn't by themselves demonstrate transmutation. If experimental evidence ever gave a legitimate reason to investigate that possibility, it would require specialized independent analysis, not just performance metrics. Samples would need to be characterized before and after exposure using appropriate elemental and isotopic methods. With independent labs, proper controls, contamination safeguards, replicable results, and clear margins beyond instrument uncertainty. Until evidence of that quality exists, transmutation remains a question, not a conclusion. And that's really the philosophy here. Ask the difficult questions, but don't fall in love with the answers. Does Pveed reduce fuel consumption? Does it affect power or torque? Does it change ignition waveforms or combustion stability? Does it extend lean limits? Does it affect emissions? Does it produce measurable effects in diesel engines? Does it change welding arc behavior? Does it cause transmutation? Or is there an entirely different explanation we haven't considered? All of these are hypotheses until evidence says otherwise. That's why the first experiment should be simple. Start with the vehicle. Measure baseline fuel consumption and emissions. Install Pveed. Repeat the measurements. Remove it. Repeat again. If there's no effect, record it. If there is, reproduce it. Only after a real effect is established do we spend serious resources pursuing mechanisms. We don't need certainty before beginning. We need a test that can tell us when we're wrong. Octave 9 Defense Dynamics can provide prototypes, installation procedures, fabrication information necessary for evaluation, and approximately 20 years of development experience. Independent engineers and scientists can provide instrumentation controls analysis and skepticism necessary to determine what is actually happening. Observe it, measure it, try to disprove it, repeat it, and if an effect survives all of that, follow the evidence wherever it leads. Thank you.